And welcome back everybody to Rebuild Projects. This is the Transformer trailer build.
You're watching Rebuild Projects.
So what are we working with? We have a 1984 Vermac analog sign. It is just a wonderful thing. I've just picked it up at an auction, all in for about 800 bucks with tax. And it is so cool. It's got a list of things that you can punch into its screen. Now, I haven't tested it yet, but I've been told the screen works, the computer works, but the batteries need a little charging. But what a cool platform to do something really unique with. And I have an idea, guys. We are going to turn this into the
Transformer camping trailer.
Yeah, I've got inspired by how all these mechanisms work. How when you crank this sucker up here, it actually lifts the sign and a solar panel. And I think we can use some newer modern actuators instead of the pulley or the rope here, and we can really make this a cool, unique trailer that you could take camping, and when you get to the site, you just press a few buttons and it turns into a kitchen. It turns into a little prep area, maybe even an awning. And then if you're lucky, maybe even a bed will slide out somehow. I'm not too sure yet, but we're gonna figure it out together. And I just can't wait to get this rebuild project started. Now I picked this up for 800 bucks at my local auction. And I mean, just the value of the trailer, let alone all this other components to it, it's double of what I paid for it because it has a tubular steel frame. The frame itself is like 3x3. These upper components are 2x2. It's got 1x3s down there. It's super strong. It's in really good condition, like no rust whatsoever. Then there's all the signage part. So it says it has a working solar panel. We will see. It came with 8 deep cycle batteries, yet to be tested. And it's got the sign and the computer. So my plan is to start dismantling all of the signage, the computer, and the solar panels, disconnect them from the batteries, and just bring it down to a frame. Now, with the LED sign removed and all the cords that led from the solar panels to that onboard computer removed as well, or detached, I've removed the computer box, and in that had a charge controller, and it was a kind of a unique one that balances multiple batteries, so we're going to try to reuse that. That leads us now to planning out all of our strategic cuts, because I don't think I can make a more elegant and simple solution for a device that opens up the solar panels and allows an awning to go. So that's our next step, is to strategically measure and cut these down tubes and try to reposition everything so that it will work for the overall design of the new camper. So my plan is to start off by making 4 cuts that are all pretty much equal. I've placed them just under this cross beam and just above this plate, and then I transferred the same measurements over here, so 34 3/4 from the top to the bottom. And the reason I've done that is I want to be able to take this whole top unit, we'll call it, and eventually shift it forward and weld it to a cross brace, and then weld it to this part of the frame here. And what that allowed me to do is still, I think, use this upper part and then reclaim the bottom area. So these front 2x2 tubes that will be left over are going to cut down to the frame level, but I'm going to keep these back ones and use those eventually to connect to this part up here. So yeah, so I'm just I've measured it off, and I've taken my angled square and I've gone all the way around the tube. I'm just going to tape it off so it's easier to see. I'm going to try to cut it with the reciprocating saw with the metal blade, but I imagine I'm going to have to use my grinder a little bit. And once I get one cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little metal wedge, keep it in there, and then I'm going to take one of my clamps, I'm going to clamp it down, and that will allow the other cuts to not be too affected by the cut I just made. At least that's the idea. Hey, ahoy! Well, I think a little boat update would be, you know, a good thing right now. The boat is chugging along. It's going great. I'm just spending a lot of time trying to get the sides and the hull and everything to a point where I can do the finish paint. I think I've gone back and forth and filled, sanded, and primed maybe 4 or 5 times in the last month and a half. So I just wanted to tell you that while I am going back and forth and getting the boat painted, I thought I could add in a trailer build. So I hope you're enjoying it. You're probably watching it right now, but I just want to let you know the boat build is still 100% go. I'd like to get the boat in the water and the trailer done by the end of the summer. So that's the goal. So thank you so much for watching, and back to the trailer build. Now, This build for me is an exercise in seeing if I can replicate an overland type trailer. It's one of my favorite ones to, look at while I'm at different types of outdoor shows and whatnot. I'm not ready for my family yet to, dive into the sleeper kind of cabin or sleeper trailers. But I am ready to upgrade my camping experience. I like the overland design, but I don't need to take this to the outback. I may go to a service forest road, but I'm usually traveling to state parks, and knowing that, I just want something that I can show up, open up, it transforms into exactly what I need for the family, and it's very well organized. Let's just say the simplest overland trailer probably starts between 7 and 10 grand, and those are just bare bones models, but they can go up to 20, 30 grand real easy. I want this trailer to be budget conscious. I need to get it done pretty quick, and I want it to have all the goodies, but I don't want to pay a lot for them. That's what we all do, right? I am tired of rolling up to campsites with the family, going to state parks and then taking 45 minutes to get everything out of the truck, set up your tent, set up some sort of, canopy around the picnic table, pull out all the black bins. I've been doing that for years now, and I think it's time to transform my camping experience into something that is simple, easy, and fast when it comes to the setup, well organized. And that's what this is all about for me. So, knowing that, and knowing what goodies you want is what's gonna make your budget really climb. So I know that I want a storage compartment in the front that has your propane isolated from everything else. I want to have an area to put folding tables and chairs in, and another little storage area for whatever here. On the sides, I'm going to build out some storage compartments, whether they're going to have a door that opens this way or the whole unit might open up and swing. Not too sure yet, but that'll be like a pantry or just like a storage for, all your knickknacks and your plates and everything. I think the back right now is a great place to have a sink, a little kitchen area, maybe some drawers. Over on this side, maybe a prep area. Once again, a compartment that pulls out to some drop-down tables or something. I like to have one specific side set for power, that can connect to the batteries and the solar. Maybe run an inverter so I can use some household appliances. Now, all of those brackets and components that we took off for the solar panel and the old sign, I want to reuse those. So we're going to have to really think ahead about how we're going to connect it back to the frame, whether we're just going to connect it up or somehow have to raise it, because I do want to future-proof if I'm looking to put a hard top tent on the top, because I think that might be the first incarnation of it. I got to figure out how all these will work together. So over and above knocking another one off my bucket list of builds, this is an exercise to see if I and you can take one of these commercial sign trailers and on a very low budget with a small time frame, convert it into a real cool camping trailer. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm sure as hell gonna give it a try. So I'll see you next time at ReBUILD Projects.
Hey, you very cool!